they 浸過鹹水 right? Then the thing might have chance to peel out.
Which thing?
This oil
Is it? No way.
Yeah.
Oh, you can open EV58 shop already.
Oh,
Yeah.
You got all of them, right?
Yeah, better than the
Better
Tudor
than-
boutique.
yeah.
already.
Want to start? Chi Hoi can do the introduction.
Okay, welcome to episode number 3 of the My Watch Quirky.
Yes.
I'm
Podcast.
Tudor. This is Danny, WK, and Denson.
Yeah. I think this is the first time we did an introduction.
Is it?
Yeah, we've never done
Actually, we
introduction
never did.
before.
Because you never fail to dress so
You should do the 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, triple one, right? Okay, I think today we're just going to do a simple Q&A. You know, we're going to answer a few questions. And we have Cheong here with his amazing collection as well.
So
So
recording this?
it is yeah, recording as well. So I think some questions will be more Tudor heavy lah, since the collection is so prominent now.
Yeah.
So I think one of the questions I've gotten right is modern Tudor releases seem to be a copy of vintage Rolexes. What's your take on this direction? And do you think that Tudor can actually scratch the itch for a Rolex?
Okay, as
Yeah.
for me, I guess the way they design their watches, right? More or less, I think they take inspiration from Rolex. You can't deny that. Whether they can scratch the edges, I don't think so. If you really like Rolex, you'll find your way to get a Rolex. So for me, I really like Tudor. So I hit Tudor first, and I don't mind along the way I get a Rolex here and there. So like I really like the Tudor philosophy, which is like born to dare, right? So they
Yeah.
dare to try different materials and stuff like that. So the color choices also I really like.
Sorry.
Not happy.
Yeah, say something wrong with the brand. Actually, I think Chio is the first one who I know owns the gold one.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know anybody else who has it.
In Malaysia, lah. So
I don't know anybody who has such a complete Tudor collection. That's three Malaysia.
Actually, how rare is it in Malaysia now?
I have no idea who else owns the gold BB58 because I was told that the boutique that I went to, he sold like 5 units. I'm like the 5th unit. So
Oh.
I don't know who has the other 4 lah.
You should tell them how much this NATO costs.
So it's because right. Apparently it's like made of the gold lining, right? The center part.
You put it under the...
Yeah, it's made of gold lining, and this is gold. So I was told that this, if you want to replace this strap, it costs like 10,000 ringgit. Yeah.
You think it's gold?
I
I have
honestly...
no idea. I can't tell whether the gold lining. This is, yeah, it better be.
Oh, like for 10,000 price range.
Yeah, time to get one from Tech
What?
Farm.
And this...
Yeah, Tech Farm, we need the 100 ringgit one.
So if I got no money, then I'll sell the buckle.
Yeah,
So because I've seen the bronze Tudor, I mean, if you don't tell me it's gold, actually my first inclination is
This could be
This is
bronze,
bronze.
right? So
Yeah.
I posted my picture, this green on my Instagram. Like, so like there's a few people that ask me, is this bronze or gold? They can't tell it's gold. They always think it's bronze.
yeah.
So I think the
And the
way
case is bigger, right, for the bronze.
this is the bronze one.
same lah. It's
Oh, yeah.
BB50 also, right? This one.
It's BB58. So whenever Tudor comes out with the bronze watches, right, it's always 369. So this is not 369.
Ah.
Yeah. So that's how you tell if it's a
The first bronze
material.
one was 41.
Correct.
Was it?
Correct.
Yeah. And this one has the T-fit clasp, right?
Ah,
yeah.
alright, this is the
This
one.
is the first one with the TV class.
Do you wear it actually?
I don't wear it. It's actually my dad's one. So
Actually, you can see the patina not even wearing it,
yeah.
right?
So it's like every 6 months I'll check whether it's patinaing. Yeah.
Oh, you're checking whether your father scratch it.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, great.
How's your silver 58?
The silver one is like my brother's one. The bronze is my dad's one, and the gold is my one. Like.
You see how much his brother wears the watch, and then the patina is still nice. I have never worn this watch more than 3 times,
But
and
the condition is very...
yeah, it looks like
See,
crap.
And what's this? Is it dirt or scratch? Or?
No, it's not.
Huh? It's patina.
When I took the watch
Wow.
out, it's like this already.
Yeah.
After a year.
So yours is like darker shade, right?
Yeah, surprisingly,
What is the case material again?
silver.
Silver. This is silver.
Silver.
Yeah. When they advertise the thing, they say that actually it wouldn't patina, right?
It will be very difficult to patina.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they actually in their
Ever doubt?
like all Tudor videos they're quite cheesy. It will stay that way for a million years.
I think the 15th, the silver was the
Oh,
first time
it's
they did like very
silver.
cool advertising.
Correct.
Yeah, see, look at mine.
Yeah.
I actually put it in the safe for 1 year before I took it out. And
I
think-
actually like how it's patina. It's like darker shades, right?
This is
I
cool.
kind of feel it
Thanks,
looks
man.
kind of cool though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like 超大 you see?
超大.
Yeah, it's like you put it in the furnace. And then I've never worn it. That's the thing, you know.
I think
that's why. Because that's why.
In the safe.
apparently the silver is like the most sought after in European markets.
The silver now.
Yeah,
Oh.
all the Angmos, right?
How about
they
the
really like
new, what's it called? The one which looks like the Explorer. What?
the Ranger, right?
The Ranger.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the Ranger?
I think it's quite boring
Yeah.
for the size. If it
Correct,
was
correct.
smaller, then I think the dial elements and all that are enough to, sort of have enough interest in a small piece
Correct,
of real
correct.
estate. But the piece of real estate is a bit big, so
Yeah, I think way too big end to end, right? That's why when I look at the numbers, especially the 3, 6, and 9, it looks stretched out.
It's like lots of space on the
Yeah.
dial, right?
Even until today, you guys still think that. You
Yeah,
guys
because I
still
think
that
we looked at the Explorer one also, because of the glass and the bezel somewhat, it's actually more streamed down the Rolex than the Tudor, because Tudor is like leading end to end.
What's the reason they want to do this? Like, there's always something wrong with, to me, sometimes there's always something wrong with the design. They can make it perfect, but there's always this
Really
small
too
thing.
close to the big brother. That's
Yeah,
always
I think so.
Like they always say, like
the conspiracy theory lah.
the conspiracy theory, how real or not, nobody knows.
they're not allowed to cannibalize their big brother.
How about
It's like the thickness of the Tudor watches, right? They can always make it smaller, but they never want to.
So apparently they say that this one is very thick, right? But they not too sure lah. Why they don't make it slimmer? Or is it because of the movement? I have no idea.
is this as thick as the 41, the Black Bay, the original
I
one?
think so.
But eventually they made it a bit thinner.
Oh yeah, compared to the first generation,
Yeah.
the stainless steel is much thicker.
Because
When they
for-
did the Panda, it's a bit thinner.
Yup,
Because I
correct.
had the first
And then-
generation Black Bay. Actually, I got issue with the thickness. And it's not only thick, right? It's polished also. So the mirror reflection is like,
very cow.
it's
Yeah.
very, very
41.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
41. Before the 58 came out, that one was really thick.
Yeah, and the GMT is so nice, right? The Black Bay GMT. But it's so thick.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
Black Bay Pro, so nice.
Yeah.
But so thick.
But these days, like, coming back to your question, I don't know whether people buy it for the right reasons. Lah. Because, at least from my side, aside from you that's passionate about Tudor, a lot of my friends that buy it, it's just because they want to get a Rolex, but they can't. So I always think that they're buying it for the wrong reasons.
I think for me, the same lah. You get it because you can't get.
Yeah.
The
To a
Rolex, right?
certain extent,
To a
like
certain,
But for the price point, like, I feel it's such a good watch.
Yeah, that's
It's
why I
still
think so.
within a affordable
Correct.
or acceptable price range for most. That gives you so much value for
Yeah.
money. Lah.
Actually, I don't know if I should say this, but I think this is all master plan. A master
Right.
plan of a very, very long timeline.
Yeah.
I think Rolex just wants to occupy a price range that they cannot occupy because they don't want to do complications. So they will occupy that price range through customization, through materials. They allow you to choose a lot of different configurations. I think it's already starting to happen, right? You look
Yep.
at Day Plus and OP, there's so many configurations.
Correct.
And then if you look at things like even the GMT Masters, last time, this model you only get Jubilee bracelet. This model you only get the oyster bracelet, right? Now you can choose. So I think they seem to be going that way and pushing more precious metal, producing less steel because they
Yeah.
want to occupy a different price bracket, but then they leave a different price segment behind, right? And that's where Tudor comes in. So how do you build legitimacy for Tudor? You do tool watches like how Rolex did tool watches, like proper tool watches 50 years ago.
So are
I
they
think that's
proper?
exactly what they're doing. I think these are all proper tool watches.
But I think the difference is that when the 50 years ago, people actually use them as tools, whereas now it's
Now
not,
no.
right?
No.
So it's always still a statement piece.
And I think that's where Marine National, the partnerships and all that are so important to Tudor. Because that's their legitimacy to say we are proper tool watchers, right?
Yeah.
Then the North Pole expedition, the this, the that.
So technically, like, Tudor is actually following what Rolex did. Right? Last time
Yep.
they used to go swimming
That's
and all.
what I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Then
That's
after
what-
that, they
Yeah, I
have the
think-
first airline pilot watch, which is the GMT and all.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it, that they are following what Rolex did, right? But I think it is not Tudor doing it. It's Rolex doing it.
To dominate the lower end market.
Yeah,
that's
Actually, I think like what you said, on top
It's a cock block for Omega.
yeah,
Oh, for
Mega,
sure, for
Breitling, all the other brands is, and then the price point is also way lower. than
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if I were them, I would lost lead on Tudors to have all that value, so that you dominate that segment of the market while Rolex goes upmarket.
Correct.
But it grew so quickly because of this 58.
Oh,
I
58
think
was
the 58 was the hero piece that changed it. And I think that's not what you said also. Adding to it, I think Tudor, they allow for special editions, right? Which Rolex doesn't have.
Oh yeah.
I think only Tudor has a special edition.
Yeah, like they had the black one.
There is
the
gold one.
The black one was the rugby one, right? Was it? They did like
Yeah, the
black
full
one.
all
Oh,
black.
Rolex, right? Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
again, the parent company would never do.
But it's
So the question was, is Tudor just a copy of Rolex?
correct. Yeah.
And does it scratch the Rolex
Yeah.
itch?
Do you think?
I mean, the first part, that's my point of view, that they are not copying. This
Alright,
is
alright.
all just basically part of a master plan, a very long game. I don't think that, I think it will scratch the Rolex itch only for very few people. I think like if you maybe have had some contact with Rolex before, and then you want a specific Rolex, but you're sort of waiting for the right time or waiting for the right one to come along or whatever, then maybe you will scratch the itch. But I think if you have not experienced Rolex before and you really want a Rolex,
Yep.
and then you buy a Tudor, it won't scratch the itch.
It would happen.
You will
right?
always want the Rolex.
Correct. I totally agree.
Yeah.
If you want a Rolex, save it up, just buy a
Alright,
Rolex.
alright, yeah. Okay.
Because once you put on a Rolex, right,
It's a totally different
it's
feeling.
totally different feeling. Everything from
I think
the hair-
everybody can vouch for that, right?
Yeah.
Once you put on
Right after
Rolex.
that, immediately you feel poor. And
Yeah. Oh, this one is very nice actually.
Yeah, I really like the
I
color.
really like that.
Actually, the SNG is newer than the Panda and the.
No,
first.
No, this is the first one.
Oh, this is the first one. Okay.
Actually, no, the stainless steel comes first, right? Then
No,
only they
this
came up
one
with
first.
Oh, this one first?
Yes, I
No,
think I
this
saw.
one's the second.
Huh? Is it?
Yeah.
Because I
It has
saw
The
you-
stainless steel.
then the SNG,
Oh, yes, yes.
then the
Then
Panda.
Yeah, correct.
Then the Panda was the revision.
Yes, that was the.
I think we can have
Whose question was that?
one.
We should
one,
shout out all-
one random guy who sent it to me on the my watch kaki page. Follow it up, yeah. But we can follow up with Jordan's question. Since you're all in Tudor and Rolexes now, if you could only own watches from one brand forever, what's your pick? If you're working with a realistic budget and an unlimited budget. Yeah, really. What's realistic budget to you guys?
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
realistic?
what is
Yeah,
realistic
exactly.
budget?
Jordan
yeah.
buy watches so not realistic.
Yeah.
So.
Mr. NWA. Again, Mr. NWA.
This is a realistic.
This is a very realistic watch.
Okay, realistic budget lah. Okay.
I think we talked about this a few times
Alright,
also,
alright.
right? So
Okay, what's a realistic budget, to you guys?
I personally think
Let's talk about the price point. Maybe we should start at
Okay.
what, $10,000 price point.
$10,000.
I think
10,000 ringgit.
10,000 ringgit.
lah. I think 10,000 ringgit is a very relatable price point for most lah.
Alright.
For Malaysian, I would say.
For Malaysian,
market,
even
yeah.
looking
Malaysian
at the
market.
office people, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think even you ask them to spend 4,000 and
a
8,000 is quite a fair bit because if you compare that to the ladies' handbags, it's also around 6,000 to 8,000. I think it's
correct.
where their threshold is. But once you go above the 5-digit, right?
Then it's a bit pushing
it's quite
already.
a fair bit of money. lah.
You have
Correct.
to be into watches to spend 5 digits.
Either that or you have to really like the
So 10,000. What would you think?
10,000 ringgit. Just
So
one.
I think like how to say this
Yeah, lor, how to
is
say it?
possible because like
your each income.
somebody's beater is somebody else's grill.
Correct.
So like how do you say what is realistic
Yeah.
and unrealistic? I don't know. Like it's very. I think that everybody will
Has a
will
different-
have to have a different answer.
Correct.
Because your realistic and unrealistic is different.
So maybe if you want to put it back to Jordan's question to perspective is based on each of our estate,
Correct.
what is the big goal.
Yeah, everybody has different like.
Yeah, exactly. Denson now it's like 100,000. That's realistic.
My
100,000 is like, man.
No. Yeah, I'm on thin line already.
But we already know what is your one brand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shouldn't be me lah. Should be let's start with
And
Dennis.
I think I also know your one brand.
So the question of
Okay, that's
context
fine.
is within Rolex and Tudor, right?
Any one brand, But let's say we can't answer the realistic. We can't answer the realistic because everybody has
There's
different.
no such thing.
Unlimited budget, one brand. Yeah.
Wow.
Own
great
watches
figure.
for one brand, unlimited.
Jordan.
Yeah,
John.
John.
So wait, FPJ to you guys is you guys really like,
I really like
Yeah.
that.
really like, or is it
Very like
because
But
Design looks
I
nice.
think like all of us a bit too late into the game.
for sure.
Way too late.
Way too late.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
for me,
love-
the which one you like? For me, it's the CB.
I like so
actually.
many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's more realistic from a price point, I think, is still the CB for me. And I actually quite like the CB because of one of the old Hodiki videos that I watched. Actually, that was the first
This
one.
CB is the chronometer.
Yeah, the chronometric blue.
How
I
much is the
think
retail actually?
the retail, I do not know, but I think under 40 say we can order from at least put a request in for the Tokyo boutique or even the Singapore one. But the secondary prices, it ranges between 280 to 350.
Wow.
I think it's still the cheapest among the.
Elegante is around the same price
Yeah,
as well, right?
for me, I think if no what will be the single phase resonance. That one is also by I think Mark Cho. When I first heard his podcast on Hodinki many years ago, then he talked about the FPJ.
So
I
FPJ
prefer the new resonance. The one with the crown on top. Then you have that aperture in the middle between the two
Yeah.
dials. And you can see the constant force mechanism.
Yeah.
That's my
But
my
if you
ultimate
guys
favorite.
if you guys were exposed to FPJ 20 years ago,
I wouldn't have liked it then.
would you guys have
I wouldn't have liked it then. That time, I think like I would have looked at it and said, like, "Oh my God, so old-fashioned."
Correct.
Is it because
I
it's
think
being
same,
hyped up?
same as Philippe Dufour or Daniel
taste
Ross.
changed.
Yeah,
Taste changed.
At that time, I think
But even for Philippe Dufour, the models maybe not to my one, but the FGBJ, something about the construct of the down, the case, everything else. It resonates better with me.
I like that plate architecture and the movement.
Yeah.
The plate architecture is beautiful.
how about Chihao?
I don't know. I don't really know much about FP genre, right? But I really saw the designs here and there.
Away, bro.
Yeah.
Really, right?
Keep it there.
Yeah, my wife would be happy.
Don't go down that rabbit hole.
Because I think it will be the only piece like, if I sell off everything,
Yeah, yeah.
Is it? It will be.
Yeah. I mean, like for FPJ, I might consider selling a big part.
either that or a London datagrapher.
Oh,
No.
that's true.
But it's too expensive.
No, I mean like the London data graph, I feel it's not very wearable. It's so thick and it like rises out of your wrist like a hockey puck. If you have the wrist for it, then sure, but not for me lah. Langer would be other things lah. Langer one, even like an outsized date Saxonia, I think is beautiful.
That's cute. Yeah, that's cool.
This I don't know for realistic sets. As much as many people don't like it and diss it and call it boring, I think Rolex will be the easiest. Because from a price end game watch, though, the end game, right?
You've done everything already.
then-
You've gone through, right?
Yep, yep.
If I understand the question correctly.
Then it will be FPJ.
My end game will be Patek lah. I told you guys, right? If I have a Patek, then I'll quit all group chats
Yeah.
and all.
You stop talking to
and
us.
Stop talking to you all.
We also discussed this right at the beginning. We were looking at because of a dose of time.
Yeah.
I think the 4-digit.
Later next week, Novita buys you a Patek.
Wow. Bye, guys.
Nice knowing you. Here to hear all the secrets.
Yeah, for those of you watching, Ji Hong's wife is
Seated there. Yeah.
with camera.
Yeah, seated there.
making sure that
He's
we
gonna-
don't steal any of his watches.
He's gonna be interviewed once he enter the car. Yeah.
I think my exit watch will be an Apple Watch.
Oh.
If I cannot have variety in my collection anymore, right? I just have one. I know I'll not be happy.
Okay.
So I might as well just quit everything and just wear an Apple Watch. Because an Apple Watch is such a capable watch, and you actually really don't need anything else. Although you do need the charger. Yeah, but you don't need anything else. Then I will just exit everything.
That's it.
Because like to survive on one watch, I don't think I can. It's like
we no longer can, right?
it defeats the purpose of liking watches. And
Correct.
If
enjoying
you have
watches.
a resonance, would that be a one watch?
No lah. I think then I will want other
things.
FPJs and then
Because those is
Back to scale.
the water. I mean, depending on how you use it, right? You're worried about like water resistance.
yeah,
you're
yeah.
worried about humidity. You're worried about shock.
you sure will need another.
You're worried about so many things.
I think that's the problem. Like, sometimes, like, when I go for holidays, I want to bring my Cartier for holidays. But I know that I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can. And
Yeah.
I don't have a Santos. I don't have a Santos.
This is why Cartier.
That's shit. Can I wear something else?
You have like a diver, right?
Alright.
A proper diver, right? Then got that wedding dinner and
That's why you have the bond to settle. No, it's not only that.
that's your ending.
Yeah. If I have to keep one watch, it'll be the bond or the no date sub lah.
No date,
Right.
right.
Because like both of them brought on trips,
How
they
about
can
the
do
cold
everything. No,
They can do
because
everything.
the water
right? Yeah.
resistance is not great.
I agree that the Bond watch or the Submariner no date
Oh.
the perfect
You
watch.
like the board?
I like the way it looks. I don't like the way it wears.
Yeah. For me, size. Even I also, I think it could be a tad bit smaller, but unfortunately, it is what it is. So yeah.
And
so
then will be
Jordan,
Cartier all the way.
Actually, sorry, before you move on
Yeah.
to the next question, I just want to do a shout out to Juan, it's J1, who actually schooled me and gave me a very good correction about our last episode where we
Okay.
talked about diamonds on the cases of particularly. The diamond between the lux is actually only on the platinum watches. So thanks for that.
Oh, okay.
okay, the one I was not. Yeah, I wasn't
I
around.
think we attach a photo for that. We attach a photo for that.
For next one, is it?
Yeah. Okay, I think this question. Wait, before that, can I ask? Does Tudor have any quartz movement?
Oh,
Not that I know.
Every-
of.
Maybe in the history book, maybe. I'm not sure.
But as modern releases, no.
I don't think so.
I don't think I've seen that.
Back in the days, the Rolex,
Only the
what's it
oyster
called?
quartz,
right?
Yeah,
That's only reserved for that, right?
Yeah, it's a very good question. This one. Would you guys consider buying a luxury quartz? And beside a vintage Rolex oyster quartz, what is your view about vintage Rolex oyster quartz? Yeah, would you guys get a quartz, a luxury quartz?
I can't answer that because I really bought a GS. Yeah.
What is
I think
luxury?
GS is luxury already. Oh,
Yeah.
GS is luxury.
Yeah.
So I honestly also never thought that I would spend that much on the quartz watch, right? But I did spend close to 20 on the GS piece.
I mean, like honestly, if let's say your realm is Casios, right? Then the Tissot PRX quartz is a luxury quartz.
Correct.
If you are Tissot PRX, then maybe a Cartier Tech.
It's a luxury quartz.
It's a
Yeah.
Talking about talking about one just now, right?
Yeah.
Is FVJ is also
Yeah.
quartz.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
So it depends what you want.
Yeah, it depends on what you mean by luxury. lah. Yeah. If like there's a price range to work with, then maybe you can say, right, do you cross sort of some kind of psychological threshold,
actually,
beyond
I
a
think
certain price?
the FPJ Elegante puts the conversation in, puts the question into jeopardy. Because it's going to be $80,000 watch.
Yeah.
And even if you don't like quartz and you're being offered
Yeah.
an Elegante, would you say no?
It depends. If you want to go into the brand, then yeah, that will be one of the gateway into owning an FPJ at retail, right? From my view.
Retail,
Yeah.
retail, yeah.
Because actually, like one of the biggest grey market retailers is Washbox. I think they have the most amount of FPJ displayed.
Yep. That's true. That's true. Yeah, like you say,
So
lah.
back in the days, right, Patek Philippe do have quartz models, right, for the Aquanaut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they have enough?
Just about everybody has had quartz at
quartz.
some point.
Yeah, because all of them.
That's why I
during
always find the Tudor did.
the quartz crisis, right? They had to pivot, so there was the only.
Okay, what's your price ceiling for quartz watch?
For me, it's the GS lah.
GS.
Yeah, I think paying 17,
Which is?
18K was
18?
Yeah, before discount, 18K was the max I would pay for a quartz watch. Because to me, it's not so much the mechanism that irks me. I think it's great
finishing,
with the accuracy, right? It was the finishing, it was the dial that. Then I say, okay, GS is fine. I will make the exception, right? But the one thing that I still cannot accept is the second hand going that thick.
But I noticed that the way that GS sticks the watch, right, is different
It's
compared to others.
slightly more smoother because
Very accurate.
the 9F quartz has been around for some time already, so it's pretty robust and durable, right? It has been around for
Thermally
Yeah.
compensated.
Correct.
They do all the corrections for bounce and all that.
So the accuracy is maybe plus or I think it's 2 to 3 seconds or even 3 to 5 seconds in a year. As compared to a GS, there's an average of 3 to 5 seconds in a month.
Correct.
So by any means, I think that's very accurate lah. So now I actually use that to set all my watches. So once I set once I've set the GS, I've used the GS to set like everything else really.
How about you?
I mean, like, I think I don't have a problem with the ticking second hand. It's like deadbeat seconds as a complication. One of the toughest complications to make in the world is to purposely push the torque to potential energy release 1 per second. So I don't really mind that. I think like for me the thing about a quartz watch is that it's damn real, okay. Even if I'm about to say it's like it's damn weird. It's like I feel the watch don't need me. So I don't feel a bond with quartz.
Oh, that's really
I admire quartz, especially like FPGA quartz, like GS quartz.
You
I
need
admire
to
it.
when you change battery.
Yeah. And I feel like both an automatic watch and a manual watch needs me. I need to give it part of my life so that it has a life and can serve me.
Alright.
But a quartz watch is like, it doesn't need me, so I don't wear quartz.
Sounds
I
like
like quartz. I have so many quartz watches, but I hardly wear them.
sounds like relationship advice.
By WK.
Hey, that's right. When you say I think it hit something with me. It's quite true, though.
Yeah, I feel bad when I don't wear an automatic watch for a while.
Alright.
Or if I don't wind a manual winding watch for a while.
It's like a needy girlfriend.
But do you find difficult, right? Like manual winding. Even in my speedy, I find it okay, right?
I like it lah.
But some people say like you have to make sure that you wind it, it doesn't work.
Yeah, like
I think it's like the difference between having a dog as a pet or a cat. Pet. A dog is
That's quite true,
dog
actually.
is a two-way
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
relationship, right? A
Quants
cat
is like having a fish.
actually, yeah, more like a fish.
Quartz is a fish. Yeah, that's a really good analogy.
Actually, no, the fish you need to feed, right?
Yeah, true.
The cat you don't feed, also develop will find a way.
Find out.
Quartz is like those shrimp you buy, in Publica one. You put the shrimp in, and it can last you for 10 years.
Sorry. We have all paused because the baby is
And then,
The princess is awake.
she doesn't look like in a very good mood.
It's not very happy.
it's okay, mommy girl.
Okay, sorry.
No, back to topic.
We are taking a break from
Baby wake up, yeah.
But just to add, I think what he said is very valid. But I think just to contextualize also what I also from my point of view is that I just wanted to complete the GS experience. For me personally,
Is that me lacking GS?
because for me, if I were to sell all my GS, I don't know whether it's the same for your Tudor. But for me, it's like since I already 1 foot in the door with GS, I might as well just try all the movements. So the 9F quartz was quite a signature movement that I wanted to try. I already had the spring drive to start it off. So like I said, and I've already discussed with you all, high beat is the next one. So once I completed all three, then I can just say I'm done with the brand because
So is there any high bid which caught your eye yet?
of course, there's a few GS high beat, but the one that won the GPHG, unfortunately, on my wrist, it doesn't sit very well. And the birch, for me, the white birch at the start, the shine of it is a bit too bling. It looks, again, it's my own personal, it looks a bit cheap in my perspective, the white birch. That's why I stayed away from it initially when I was considering it, right? So for me, the first piece was the spring drive.
Right.
Yeah. So I have not found the right high beat to complete the collection. Yeah. So maybe
How about you?
Xiong,
Yeah.
quartz.
For me, quartz is very important.
the G-Shock that you just posted.
Because sometimes, right, you wake up in the early morning, right, you need to rush for work, right? I'll definitely pick up my Tech Heuer, which is a quartz.
Oh yeah.
The time is already correct. Because if I were to get something like in the box and everything's not winded. I'm like, oh my god.
The winding.
Yeah, I'm like, by the time I'm really late, really, no, I just grabbed the G-Shock
So
or the Tag
is
Heuer.
the bank the most you spend?
As of now, the tank, yeah, that's like 12, right?
12, yeah.
Yeah, so I might go to GS, the 9F. I also want to try it out, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, actually, one of my friends who's a watch dealer, right? He has obviously a million watches going through his hands in the last 10 years or whatever. His personal favorite is a 9F quartz GS. That's the one that he says is his forever keeper.
Yeah. And the good thing about 9F quartz, it doesn't do well on second-hand market. So actually you can get a very good deal.
Is it?
For 9F.
So where are you selling? Where are you selling?
Not selling, but if you can find, there's a lot of people also doing well.
Yours is it a limited edition?
It's a limited,
It is,
but
right?
it's a very big, for GS standard, it's actually a very big limited.
That's the what, 66 GS? Was it 44 GS?
No, 44 GS
44
case.
GS.
But for the first GS case, that is case in a slightly bigger at 41 as compared to yours at 36. Which also I cannot understand because it's quartz, they could have made it smaller. Seeing that like, even the 9F, seeing a Casio can fit within that size, actually they could have, but they just didn't. So yeah.
Whose question was that again? Because it may be a repeat. He may have also
Wow.
asked me. Is it Asia Baba?
Yeah, Asia.
Ah, okay.
Asia, that's correct, yeah. Oh,
But I think if you're going back to his question, right? I mean, buying a Tudor quartz, a Rolex oyster quartz
would you?
will be quite a rare.
I would.
Yeah, I would probably
Yeah.
also pick
If you
that.
have the chance to.
Yeah, over everything else.
Yeah,
lah.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced it will wear well.
Yeah.
Because the links are quite tall, they're quite long this way vertically, and so I think it will have that digital step effect on your wrist rather than really wrapping.
It's like the BRS.
If you hear the hooding, he's one of the French guy, Massino. Yeah, it's one of the guys they interviewed and found good friends with the founder. He's actually starting off watch is the oyster quartz. So he chose the oyster quartz over a Milgauss at that point in time when he was
I saw that. I did.
So if you watch your talking watches, right, I can link you that one. You actually hear his story like when he was 17, and because Switzerland is part growing up, right? You're given a watch. He chose the oyster quartz over a Milgauss.
Which is the 4-digit one.
Yes,
Wow.
the 4-digit Milgauss.
This is the guy from Messina Lab.
Messina Labs. Sorry, the guy that's selling Messina Labs. Correct.
So you guys will get a vintage.
What is your
Me, if you're talking about quartz limit, a tank is my limit.
Thanks.
Yeah,
And I think only with Cartier you get that. It's okay to buy a
If
quartz.
I'm
right?
not into Cartier, I think I will not even touch a 5-digit quartz. I mean, 5 digits in terms of money, more than 10K, I don't think I'll get. I think there's something like you say, there's something magical but mechanical. You can't deny the fact.
Yeah, definitely.
You still.
I mean, I think we all appreciate quartz,
That's why we collect watches.
but where the bond is
Correct.
may not cross over to
Alright. There's always
It's
the
functional.
Yeah. I think even getting a tank, it's an iconic shape. One of the most common questions will still be mechanical or quartz. And it will still turn people down that it's quartz.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
I don't know whether once you go quartz, you might as well, like you say, right, the NDA watch, just buy Apple Watch. You're really almost there.
I think the service part also plays a big chunk in watch collecting. I think that's especially for the past 5 years, a lot of people just started getting the watches, even the past 2 years, with all the crazy Rolex prices, people started, I want to collect Rolex, I want to collect more watches. But if you think about 8 to 10 years later, you have to send
Really, that's a
this-
really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I think a lot of people coming into the watch game and just like buying up the mechanical stuff and all that, right? They don't realize what's coming.
Correct.
But most of the time, newbies will also buy like quartz because once they buy a few automatic pieces, it's too expensive. Then they start researching. Then most of the time they will tell you, these are the must-have quartz watches. Like the 9F, F91. So then they will start buying all this.
Eventually you have to feel like, the
So-
feels mechanical watches, and 8 years later, I want to send it to Rolex to service, and you send your 4 sports model in, and the quotation comes back to like 12K.
I think it's more than that.
Are you ready on the spot to pay 12K through your credit cards to, to service the watch? I think that's something.
It's a great point. So I think
Right.
most people don't consider that.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a very good so-called advice that I read somewhere, I can't remember where, they say like you should never buy a watch unless you can afford to buy it twice.
Yeah.
So if you can afford to buy it twice, then you really have the disposable income to buy it that one time, right? If you have to think about buying it twice, that means actually you
shouldn't be
cannot
touching
afford
it.
it.
I heard that same theory, but towards buying car. Buy the car twice, then you can afford to
should buy
service the
the
car. Yeah,
Yeah, so we.
it works the same way.
Oh yeah, cars. Yeah, I think it's a good analogy actually.
Yeah. Cool. That's a nice
Yeah.
question.
All right. Okay. This is okay. It's a very long question, but I'll just simplify it.
By who?
Yeah, we should call out
Yeah.
the person so they get a shout out.
This is my. Okay.
So the previous question was by Agile Baba Horology
Yeah.
Maniac, right?
That's-
Agile _ Baba _
Horology.
Horology
something.
_
I can remember so long. I can remember it's Agile Baba. That's it.
And okay, one new guy who just went into the PM, Edwin. Any old school OG watch repair shops you guys trust with your best watches? I have a few in Singapore, but looking for suggestions in KL.
Wow.
Yeah. The one you sent to the guy?
Yeah. So I think for me, there's two. One is Steven, which is near Sentul area. So he specializes in vintage repairs, especially for old Seikos and a lot of other models. I think Cartier also just sent his Tissot there that his father gave him. And I think he's quite happy. Nick can correct me with the service. So he got it back quite quickly. For me, the longest is actually at MCOP, but it's also another hit and miss these days. So MCOP,
Andy, is it?
yeah, Andy. Saturday, Sundays, there's a flea market downstairs. If you go to the entrance of Giant, there is Andy at the entrance. But some people reluctant to send it to him because the way he handles and all that, maybe some people feel it's not so professional. But the many times I've sent it back and I've also yet to pick up a piece from him. Yeah, he's okay. The prices are quite reasonable.
I think the prices
Yeah.
are very good if you have a beat up old watch that
Correct.
you want to get fixed and you're not too concerned about
Yeah.
how he handles.
So when I'm talking about this, maybe also to put the pricing into perspective, both Steven and Andy's pricing are around maybe 350 to 500. It depends on what you're doing. Average
of the job.
service is about 350. So that's to me is reasonable. Yeah.
Okay, have you gotten your watch back?
It's ready, but I haven't got it back from Andy. So I sent in my old vintage Seamaster. I think the last time I saw it was with you at AMW. Then after that, you were at Sport. So there's about 750 because the coil broke. Yeah. So it depends. Yeah. For you, time in motion.
The two that I have used in the past are FS Real Time in Berjaya Times Square.
Yeah.
However, I really trust them and I think they're very good. The prices are quite reasonable, but I think they are a bit hesitant to take very old stuff
Because of spare parts or?
because of availability of spare parts, and I think that's just not where they want to focus their business. You know, they want to focus on modern. It's a great business for them. They can obviously do vintage, but
Not
troublesome.
Yeah.
Right. So the other one is Time in Motion in Publica. Also very good. A bit more expensive, but
Super trustworthy.
very trustworthy. And you have to be willing to wait
Yeah.
because there are queues.
Willing to wait and pay
Yeah.
lah.
I mean,
The
you're saying,
timeline is very tight.
you're saying a bit more expensive is like 1,000 and above, right?
I mean, I dare not put a figure to it
because it depends on the
what
model and the
work.
fix,
Alright,
right?
It depends on what the work is, right? But
I sent my Rolex to one of the shop in Subang Parade once.
you
took about
telling-
1.5 months. The guy's name is Simon.
Good.
I heard he's quite popular among the old people.
is it the Chronos?
The Kairos or
The Kairos,
like
similar
Kairos,
name
right?
with the one in the USG. I think we're talking about that
Yeah.
also, right?
So that's one. And my old Seikos, I sent it to the Clang shops. So there's a lot of old shops, right? Old watches, repair shops.
Actually, for
they're-
Rolex, you're very daring because I've only sent it back to service center because I heard of a horror story of my friend that sent it to one of the grey repair shops. In the end, they started replacing his parts that were
yeah.
not spoiled,
Okay.
and then changing it out to not OEM parts.
Although
So the end result, in him trying to save money, he had to send it back to Rolex to salvage the watch, and that cost him about 9,000 repair.
I think like with service centers is like, they say buy the seller, right? You also need to buy the service center. You have to do your homework and find out which are the ones that are good.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah, be careful. Or reputable.
All right. Okay.
So the question was by Edward.
Edwin. All right. Next one is by Watches of Gucci. All right.
Gucci.
Chiyoung's friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Before that, I'm gonna ask you. You guys know about the brand Kikuchi Nakagawa? Have you guys heard about
I
this
think I
brand?
heard.
I've heard,
I'm not
but
sure whether
I'm
it's
not
the-
very
the same one.
familiar with the models.
Okay, if not, we just ask Credo, what's your thoughts on this brand? And given the opportunity to be funded to have one, would you go for it or would you go for something more Western?
Funded to have one.
Yeah.
That means you have the money for one lah.
All right. Yeah.
I
Would
will
you
buy
go
it
for that?
second hand. Right?
Would you get Credo or would you guys buy something from the West?
I mean, for me personally, I've never seen a cradle that I like really like drooling and all that lah. So for me, it's a no lah. But that's because
How about
they
you?
don't sing to me.
Yeah, for me, no. Second hand market, yes, very
You would
cheap.
consider secondhand.
Yeah, because the movement. I mean, people talk about how great the finishing is. I'm pretty sure that it is, but it's not
Seen
something
one
I.
before? No.
Yeah, because like
I've not seen one.
yeah, and like what WK mentioned, right? Emotionally, it has to speak to me. I've also have not found one piece that, yeah, that really I like.
I think the one I've seen is always like skeletonized, right? Is it? So
And like I mentioned to Roy also and before, it's like the new spring drives, the new movements that you have right now are very close to Credors.
Standards,
movement. Yeah. Not to their standard, but the way it's designed, the way you have the little open, it's very similar to Credor. So
A lot about cradles is their porcelain and
correct.
dials, right? It's a lot about the dial work.
but with that budget, you still will stick with something.
Actually, I don't even know how much they cost. I just know they're very
More
expensive.
than 100,000.
A quarter million, right?
Yeah, 100 over, yeah. 200,
numbers.
300.
Sorry.
So I will go for other brands.
Lani for me, sorry. With that money.
I think with the money as well, I still buy FPGA.
Pate or what for me lah.
Sorry, Watches of Gucci, sorry. But please still meet Chi Hong in Brisbane.
Does he have one?
No, he's
Oh,
just
okay.
asking for his.
I've only seen vintage Credors. I've never seen modern Credor. Yeah.
For me, I think of
Even
Tudor, right?
EDM
Nexus
sells-
LFA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think some have passed through his hands.
EDM has sold quite a fair bit of Credors.
Is it like a vintage
And
one?
the price is very good.
Vintage ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
vintage.
the vintage ones are good pricing in
Yeah.
Malaysia.
When I say good, it's like below 10,000.
Oh, that's very good.
But they're always quartz model, right?
Yeah.
How links? Okay, no.
Why?
What?
Again, short
Okay.
interruption.
Yeah, so sorry, Watches of Gucci. You go with something from the West.
Yeah, we're boring.
Yeah, it's already. We're not like.
No, we are Chinese. Asian.
Cannot.
Okay, I think since we are still at this topic around budget, just now we were talking about budget stuff,
Right.
funder
Right.
stuff. One of the questions by okay, Azizul, also a new guy who PM me in. Best chrono under 3,000 ringgit. And would you guys consider a Seiko Solar chrono? Yeah, or would you,
1,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
That's like what, 600 US?
yep, 6 to 7.
Can we get a Hamilton? No, right?
Hamilton chrono?
Can.
Can?
That's 6,000-7,000.
Yeah. No, Hamilton, depending on the model,
Yeah.
it's about 3 lah. 3 stretching it.
3, would you guys? 3K chrono. Can you get it? Can you get the PRX?
How much is the T-Stock chrono again? Oh, that was 7,000 plus, I think.
6 to 7?
The PRX chrono, right?
I'm not sure. No, you can get.
I would get a Mecha Quartz,
For sure.
a Mecha Quartz micro.
Oh,
Whether like a Brew metric or,
how much is is
or a
your
Baltic.
Baltic. Exactly, like Baltic, right?
It's above it. Even
No, my Baltic is
even
2005.
Even my studio underdog is above 3,000. It's above 3,000. 3,005.
After you factor in shipping and tax and all that.
Wow.
no. How much is Baltic? 3K can get?
Mine is like 2005. The seagull movement, the one with the seagull.
Yeah. I think that's a good option actually. Yeah, if I think of it for 2K plus, you can get like
I'll try and get maybe like a Ferland Mary.
Yeah,
Can you-
why not, right?
oh.
Yeah, Ferland Mary. I think it's about 400-500 US.
Oh, that's so reasonable.
Well,
I'll go for that as well.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah,
The finishing.
look at vintage Patek actually.
Actually, I will buy a vintage chronograms for the price.
That's another option. Yes.
Because I have a few, right? And it's actually well within that price range.
But the only thing is that if you are quite confined in your budgeting, then your maintenance might be painful.
Alright. Parts of
Totally.
maintenance. Back to the
Durability so
topic.
will be a
Alright. Can you wear it to the sea? Can you wear it to to water and stuff? Okay, that's a very good one. Okay, this is by TikToking Steven. It's a very logical question, okay? The MB&F Sequential Evo won the
what the-
highest price for GPHG 2022. Given a choice, would you go for other timepieces in that category? I do think it deserves the win.
Cannot answer, girl. I don't know what he's talking about.
Beyond my understanding.
The MB&F is the two
we
chronogram
know I at least seen the model, but I've never spent the amount.
right.
So
Not
Steven,
qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
only you can tell us.
Please ask Malaysia Watch Club for
Yeah.
I'm not award winning, so this one a bit difficult for us to answer.
We lose a budget now.
Okay, I think that's about it for my side. That's about it for my side.
There are some.
Okay.
There were some from like an earlier post, right?
Okay.
I think like last week.
Correct,
Before
correct.
we did the second episode.
Yes, we
So let me just try and find those.
Wow. Actually, I like the bronze one a lot, actually.
Roy, well, we're waiting for that. I think Roy had a question, right?
Okay.
So this is Watch Boy Roy. I think his question was, which brand makes the best bracelet? Top 5, perhaps.
Best bracelet, lah. I think you go for Rolex for sure.
Yeah, for sure Rolex. Hands down.
it?
Whether the 5 digit to the 6 digit, I think they wear all quite well.
AP
AP,
for the
AP.
Royal Oaks.
Agree.
That's an amazing bracelet.
For the price point, actually Tudor with the new the adjustable one with the ball bearing
Sure, is that just
on the Pelagos.
Is this already
Okay,
adjustable?
maybe that's the.
His Pelagos.
The
this one.
Pelagos.
Maybe that's like the game changer, lah. But,
Yeah, on the fly.
in general, I would say Tudor bracelets have a lot of issues. And they're all comfort and fit issues. They're not like quality issues or anything.
So it's ergonomics over.
Yeah, the ergonomics are not quite there. But maybe that's changed with Pelagos 39, I don't know. 'Cause I've never tried the Pelagos 39 with the plastics off.
Actually, how do you adjust this thing, actually?
I think there's a... You
Ball
have
bearing
a,
inside.
It's like a glide lock.
Yep.
And then after that, it has springs.
Yeah, the
on.
spring.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So the new Pelagos is also like this?
Yes, but this was
no,
the
without the spring.
was
Without
it?
the spring, correct.
Yeah, but this
without-
was the first
It's with the
model. This was the
Oh.
first model that actually innovated the bracelet.
Oh, okay. Oh. Oh,
Good
mas
structure.
pangpin though.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is for the diving, so.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know if you all tried the second grey market Uncle Seiko. I've tried
got-
one of their bracelet. I think it's key also, not great or comfort, but the price point is good.
So Rolex bracelet still? Oyster
Yeah.
bracelet still number one.
Yeah, even for your Jubilee, right?
Yeah.
It looks very uncomfortable, but once you have it on the wrist, it's actually
I think
quite
Jubilee is
comfortable.
there. I used to think Jubilee looks very uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until 4 years
I
ago.
really love
I
to be now.
still think it looks very uncle, but they're great.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And the bling,
Yeah, the thing, right?
I cannot fight. Together with the fluted bezel, it's like so bling.
Who else makes good bracelets?
VC, I've never touched an overseas
I've
bracelet
never touched
before.
it overseas, so I can't advise it. You can't say the same.
I tried a GP the other day, right? I think it's not too bad.
Wait, who bought
It's
the
quite
GP, your
nice.
friend?
Well, let's flip it. Who makes the worst bracelets?
Seiko.
Well,
Seiko, correct.
well, Jet Foster says that the flimsy Seiko bracelet is the DNA. You cannot argue with that.
Yeah. The jingly jangly when you hear you walking.
I think Omega bracelets are quite bad too.
Omega.
Like until the 3861, then they.
Yeah.
But even then, there were a lot of adjustment.
Yeah, actually, my first moonwatch, the bracelet was quite uncomfortable.
All right. So that was
My watch boy Roy.
Roy.
Ah,
Mr. Patek.
All right. So going back to one of the earlier postings when
Yeah.
we asked for questions, there's one from terrorist.
Yep.
Which I love the username by the name.
Yeah.
By the
Video-
way,
video game
terrorist.
Yeah, kena flag.
And another GS convert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Converted.
He bought the
It's another
Shogun also.
Shogun.
Yes.
Same color.
It's a bit of a repeat with
Yeah.
one of the overlap with the previous question. What's your 3 exit watches to keep in your collection if you were to quit the hobby? So earlier we talked about 1.
talked
So
about this
now
so many
it's
times.
3. Do we want to cover it or?
Yeah.
Can.
Yeah.
I've thought
FPJ
about
is
this
one
also.
for everybody.
Yeah, FPJ. For
Wait,
me,
do you guys randomly have thoughts like, oh, what's my exit watch?
Yes.
You know, before you sleep, 10 minutes before you
Yes.
sleep, oh,
Usually when I'm feeling damn guilty, like, it's like, okay, I'm just going to do 3. And then cannot, and then go to sleep.
no, thinking about it, you fall asleep.
no, it's like Nanny's wife want to talk to him at night. It's like, hey, 老公, yeah, tomorrow, hey, sorry, I'm thinking about my 3 exit watch. Don't talk to me. So 3,
Actually, I've also thought about this.
As in watch, not brand now, watch. Yeah.
Exit watch.
Actually, I can't decide the third one.
I also didn't decide the one. I can decide 2, I think.
Maybe I have the third one.
Wait, what's the first 2 first?
Exit without budget, right?
Yeah, with the budget for sure.
If it's money is no option, of course. For me, it will be the FPJ resonance.
Okay.
1. You work 100. Actually, I just want the 100 with me. The entry. Is it an entry? You
are 100?
Yeah. I just want that because I just want the fancy looking one that doesn't look like the norm. Then the third one would be a Patek reference 39, the 4-digit ones.
4-digit one.
39 something, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be my perpetual calendar choice. So complication wise, I got it
Those
fully
three.
covered.
Wow.
Yeah.
For your
This is my 3. I've thought about this the longest time. So
that's
every
like
time I buy my Toto,
that's a killer
Supreme.
Killer 3.
I already made up my choice. I know where to buy them. I've even researched.
Even know where to buy them.
This is why I know like Watchbox has the highest amount of FDJ in their collection.
Yeah.
I think for me, FPJ, Resonance, that would be the Flex watch.
Yeah.
But nobody know. Malaysia to bring out. No, Rolex is like, come there.
Watch community knows, so that's important.
See me, J, yeah, see me, J. That would be the.
Then I think I always feel like you need something stealth. You need something stealth but still nice and all that. That you know, it's like car, right? You need a stealth car that you go and visit a contractor and negotiate, or you go Sungai Buloh and buy plants.
Yep.
You know, you can
You are.
So,
Yeah.
so it would probably be this one, Black Bay 36.
Oh, and nice watch. Wow.
Oh, the
Black Bay
BTS so
36,
humble.
that's the everyday, jump in the water.
Just to buy 2 more. Yeah, already got one exit watch already, ma. Just
And then the third one has to be the real bang around watch, so it will be a G-Shock.
Oh,
So the three
wow.
exit.
Oh, this is very unexpected.
his end goal, his end game.
Yeah, because
So much is more achievable than mine.
Wow, that's quite a unlimited budget, but very realistic. Yeah.
So you can see, like, very realistic. Very unrealistic. No need Supreme Toto. Supreme Toto, no, I buy into like.
You reach a point where you realize actually
He just had to wait for his FD interest every year to buy it. How about you, Chion?
I always wanted the 37. I always wanted the Patek Calatrava, which is in 37 mm.
Okay.
Which model? My friend shop
Can't
have.
remember the number of it.
Exit watch,
That's
Yeah.
one for the dress. And I always wanted the D8 as well, the icy blue one, the platinum. That's the second one. And then the third one I cannot think of. Maybe a chronograph or
You
something.
want so humble.
Achievable. Okay, maybe Richard Mille for the show off one. Shut up, y'all.
Oh, it's
Chinaman, RM, they understand.
Actually,
Ferrari Richard Mille.
also quite obtainable. Quite realistic also. Come and think of it.
I don't know the Richard Mille whether it's attainable or not.
Depending which circle. Yeah.
Move to Meta.
First two achievable.
Achievable. Meda is like normal. You pasar malam.
So there's one time, right, I went to the kopitiam, right? This coffee shop, a Chinese coffee shop,
Medan
old school one. Yep. This uncle wearing a dated icy blue one. I was like, wow.
There's this uncle
Looking at
at
the uncle
the
already.
Copenhagen. They have a very good, right? The Bansa one. because they are also double standard people. So they always book for this guy because he's Dato, and because when he's there, he like lets everyone know. He also has the RM. I always see his RM with the orange rubber bracelet. Yeah, strap.
Oh, I think yours is quite available.
Belongs kate.
No lah.
We're Chinese.
Chinese buy Supreme strike. This one I will buy.
I think for me, I think the unobtainable one for me is a crash. Yeah, I'll go for a crash. Then I think I would like a 36-day date, but it's the one with the black onyx dial. Those, you know, in yellow gold. Those will be my uncle watch. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Then.
And 36, yes.
Yeah, and what else?
That's the right size.
I've never thought of the third one actually. I think this two is
Yeah,
quite.
that one is always.
Third one can still move around in the head, you know.
You need a beater or
I think the
chronograph,
urge,
right?
there is always the urge to have.
Exit. So basically, these are the last 3 watches you ever have.
You'll bring down to your grave.
I think there's always the urge to get okay, not specifically an Apple Watch, you know, but
Digital.
yeah, a digital,
Digital.
a smartwatch.
G-Shock,
But I mean, if in 40 years time or 30 years time, smartwatches are still around, I think the urge for me to, you know,
They'll be around.
record my
Apple sales is like trump the entire Swiss market.
the need to, you know, like what WK always tell me, you know, it monitors your sleep, you know, your blood pressure and stuff. I think this is something I want to get started at, you know, yeah.
Even actually for me, I don't know you all, but even today I didn't wear because I didn't charge it. I always wear my
Yeah, I noticed,
watch
yeah.
on my right hand side, right? Which some of you all say like, why wear 2 watch? Because I wear a band, so to me it's acceptable. I don't wear like 2. But I always wear even to sleep because at night when I wake up, I want to see the time. Instantly, I can see the.
So actually, you learn a lot about your health by tracking your sleep.
Yeah. And now I'm so fixated. Like, did I sleep 7 hours?
Yeah.
Was I interrupted? Like,
How about, okay, I think we can have follow-up questions since we are in the Apple Watch stuff, you know. Double
so
mistake.
we're done with the 3 exit
Yeah.
watch, right?
Realistic.
Unrealistic.
No, realistic in
Realistic for him.
Yeah, realistic for him. Realistic for him, yeah. Not realistic for us.
Really not realistic.
Yeah. Double wristing. Is that something you guys will do?
No, not in public.
Yeah.
In public.
I do that at home a lot.
When I can't decide which watch to wear.
So I always try and keep 2 automatics running
Oh, wow.
so that whenever I go out, I have a choice.
So if anyone want to sponsor WK the watch finder, please.
No, I will never put my watches on the wire.
Then they
This is the
don't
only
even-
thing my wife bought me, which I don't use. A Wolf watch finder.
Wow, whoa. I think it's
I'm not sure you guys. Oh yeah, since she's not on the podcast, right? I think that I don't know that this comes. She sometimes. The wife.
Wife.
oh.
Later she'll comment.
I have
What
to
is
be
my husband
respectful.
doing?
So this bastard again talking about me.
You bought the white with a fake, no,
Yes.
with a paper Pelagon.
If you're not,
No, but I don't watch my.
Okay.
Then inside got a
paper.
cutout.
Oh, wow.
not heard it. My wife bought me a Wolf watch finder, and because I brought her, because I thought this will work with her, because it worked with many of my other ex, is that before my actual birthday, I will bring them out and say like, actually, you know, actually I like this, like whether it's the Lego sets to like watches. Unfortunately now we heard watches. So I brought her to see before the FXD, right, which I'm conveniently wearing on my wrist.
For the last 1 hour.
Last 1 hour. Before the FXD came out, I wanted a blue watch and I wanted this so badly, right? The Pelagos in blue. So I brought her to see the watch so many times until I make sure that she remembers the model. So when she goes to the dealer, she knows what model to ask and won't buy the wrong one. So she actually didn't buy me the watch, but she actually made a 1-to-1 ratio cutout of it. And when I bought it, I couldn't hide, you know, because I'm so surprised. My wife is so stingy. So I thought, finally, she let go of her wallet and buy me a Pelagos, right? Only to find that it's a cutout. And I couldn't hide my expression. I was so depressed. I was so depressed.
We're going to cut this part off.
Put it in. It's not for 2 minutes. It's like.
I thought for once my stingy wife decided to buy me something that I would cherish for the rest of my life. Yeah, it was a cutout. And the saddest part is I actually took it out and put it on my wrist.
So I know now, you do all those Google doodles with clouds and all that, and then you cut out and say,
Inspired by what?
it's actually
Inspired by her.
it's a PTSD.
Go with the depression. Okay, well, that's an interesting story.
A on creativity.
Yeah.
So I've never experienced somebody buying me anything. I really want.
Yeah, guys, come to.
Wife, if you're watching this.
This is a very little
Move on. Okay, move on. I asked the wrong question already. Sorry.
Interesting question from Jonathan HT. This is the guy who runs Yamcha session.
Oh, okay, nice.
I'm still waiting for my t-shirt, Jonathan.
With so many watches at your disposal, what is the one feature of a digital watch you wish you would have on your non-digital watch?
Wow,
That's very interesting.
for you for sure. The sleeping tracker.
House tracker.
That's what everybody thinks, but it's not. But you all go ahead first.
wow. Why be cheated?
I don't have
One digital watch feature you wish your analog watch has.
Oh, that's a very good.
Wow, that I need some thinking. So I need to have some thinking.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I already know what I want.
Is it?
And you go first.
You first.
I need like. There's a G-Shock, right? For the light, right? You press the button for the light, right?
You don't have to depend on loom.
The loom. I don't think the loom can pass
But
the
yesterday, when I didn't wear my digital watch because it was not charged, I wore the Bond because I brought it also. And interestingly enough, the loom lasted the whole night.
Wow.
I don't know why.
It's a cold night.
For me, it's a waste. No, you stay up for the election.
But for the first time, I usually, whenever I come in the dark room, it actually goes. But yesterday night, maybe I just look, God, I'm not wearing my specs. I could actually see the time on the yeah.
Okay.
Wow, I've never thought of that before.
So yours was light.
Yeah. For me, lah.
wow. I need some time. You guys go first.
I don't have one. I think light will be the most practical one.
Yeah.
The second one is actually sleep tracker.
Tracker, yeah.
If you can make a perpetual calendar, I'm pretty sure you can make a
Okay. How about you?
I saw this question
you thought about it.
last week. Right? So I've been thinking about it, and I think I cannot. I can't think of any digital watch function that I would like in an analog watch. Because then I think I won't like the analog watch. Because the reason why I like the analog watch is because it's so different from digital.
That's true. Yeah.
But interestingly, the digital function that I use most, I won't say digital, but function I use most on analog watch is chronograph.
You actually use your chrono?
I find the chronograph the most useful.
In what situation?
How long the wife
In what situation? Yeah. In what situation first?
Because I have to trace a lot, right, my job. So a lot of my presentations are always, I exceptionally find 60-minute chronograph more useful for me.
Right.
Because
For your work.
Yeah, for my work. Because whenever I have to do presentations, you're always given an average of 30 minutes.
Right.
So 30 minutes with 15 minutes question, right? So I always use the chronograph for timing.
Wow, never thought of that.
Okay.
Chronograph, do you guys use it?
Actually, you can use your dive time bezel.
Yes, so after meeting you already mentioned, which I totally ignore that. But I just find it...
Ignore that.
This is good. Right? Countdown.
I got it.
The countdown bezel.
Yes,
is good for you.
which I think you also have discussed.
Yeah.
Light
Then,
function.
yeah, another
Can't think of
perspective,
something actually. I think same as you. This question has never hit me before.
It's a good question.
Because we wore
really made me
wear analog every day, right? So if we never like...
I've tried to wear.
Actually, my fear is like if I were to wear an Apple Watch, which I bought for my wife, she never use again. I'm scared that I wear it, I will never want to wear back as a long watch.
That's true.
Chi Yong has an Apple Watch, no?
Nope, I don't.
Well, never. Would I? Okay, I've tried wearing a watch because I've read online that I've seen some people online, they wear their watch as a fashion piece. So the time is always on 10:10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've tried.
But the minute you move it, it's
let's say manual one. Let's say
when I tried
manual one.
this so many times, right? Each time I don't even want to touch it.
No, you hack the you hack the movement lah.
I've tried
Then they will
doing
always be
like
tested.
So irritating when trying to get a 1010.
for automatic.
Yeah, I mean, if you take pictures of watches, you know how irritating it is.
I've tried it, just to be 10-10 forever,
Yeah.
but I can't. I just have to use it for time
It's
as well.
separate,
Yeah, I can't, man.
Ladies will also actually normally don't.
Not set that time.
Yeah, don't set the time.
Your wife will set the time.
My wife have, but after I scolded her and told her like, why would you wear a watch and don't set the time?
Okay, the next question is from 11.1 NOF.
Lillian.
Yeah, Lillian, yeah.
I don't know whether, but thanks. I don't know whether she wanted her name revealed, but
My bad.
okay, actually, did she explain what is 11.1
No,
NOF?
we never asked her.
Yeah, please let us
Maybe it's her
know.
birthday or something like that.
I think somebody I don't know should
Anyway, the
explain it.
question is, your grail if you were to not join the hype of Hertz.
Not join the hype.
I think we answered that. Real.
Yeah.
I think we will always be affected by the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say something else.
I think it's human nature, right? The harder to get is that makes you want it
the
more,
harder
right?
And the minute you do your research, whether it's hype or not, you're already informed by something.
Correct.
Yeah.
correct. This one can't deny this one. Yeah. Like if you say you can walk in to buy an FPJ
Then nobody wants it anymore, right?
and we can't say the answer to now because we're already
No,
affected
because
by the
for
thing,
me,
you
it's
know.
like, if I didn't like watches, I wouldn't even know about FUG. It's only because I've heard the podcast, I've gone through research, then only you know about this kind of brands, right? If you're like surface level into for fashion, you will never even like buy it.
I feel like
GW all the way.
Yeah, they won't know the difference.
I also have nothing against people who like hype watches.
Yeah.
You know, if the hype watch is the watch that you like, then why does it matter whether it's
all right.
hype?
Yeah.
Go for it. Okay, next question is from Wrist Time Journey. That's Joko.
Yep, Joko.
Pair a favorite watch in your current collection with your favorite song and explain why.
Walao.
Oh,
Example.
it's a damn tough way.
What?
Example. A jangly two-tone watch with Hotel California goes with whiskey on the rocks.
Wow.
Wait, what? Sorry?
We will get back to you next year.
Please, we're recording on Sunday. I don't really want to use mine.
Yeah. No.
Moving on.
Sure, it's very tough.
How to answer that? Okay, we'll think about it.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the next,
Next episode, yeah.
next episode.
Next episode, yeah.
All right, so I've got a few more here.
Wow.
This is the same one, Asia
Yeah,
Bada, so
yeah.
we've covered that. From the Watch Panther, it's quite a good question.
yeah, yeah.
Do you ever worry about humidity in your watch storage?
No.
No,
Never
not
really
for
come
me.
across
I've never.
Yeah.
Unless it start to affect my vintage down, then it really gets me.
No.
Get all the bowl in your
Yeah.
down.
I think this problem has never crossed my mind before.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
For that. Is it because all three of you stay in condos? Do you stay in the condo?
I mean, we stay in
Yeah.
just to
Used to.
Landed.
Landed. Do you store your watches in a place that is almost always air conditioned?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. I think like if you stay in a non-air conditioned environment, right, it can start to become an issue not for the watch but for your boxes, your pillows.
Yeah.
You know, they start to get moldy.
The worst is the boxes for me is IWC. Oh, they're moldy.
all of them.
Yeah.
The minute you touch them, it just
Yeah, they disintegrate. All that.
It's the worst.
That one is moisture, but there's a quick hack that easily fixes that. You buy vitamins, you buy whatever food stuff.
Some
whatever.
people say
Those sachets of desiccant, just chuck them into the watch
carbon.
boxes.
Carbon also was another.
Maybe the carbon is messy.
Careful.
Messy, Those desiccant packs are the best. When they're fresh out of the bottle, just like chuck them
it
into
in.
your watch box and all that.
I think you can buy it in Daiso as well.
You can also, but I'm cheap.
Since our watch panther, there's something he tagged us online as well, you know.
All the cut.
Plus
the bracelet.
Santos de Cartier. Yeah.
Border you guys.
I should have brought mine.
Yeah.
I don't own
That's
one,
it?
so I can't.
Does it bother you? Because
I
you're
have
the
the
only
same
one.
issue.
Oh, yeah, careful.
Finger.
Okay, interrupt.
She clip her hand.
Okay. I think that's it.
Oh,
No worries. Oh, yes.
oh, Chi Hong's watch box.
Hostel hazards today.
Oh,
okay. Okay, back to the
I
question.
like how
Does
you
it-
go with you price.
Yeah, I know, sir.
Yeah.
There's a gap and then it doesn't meet properly, and then
What's the?
It doesn't flush it properly, right?
Why does it
Yeah.
happen actually?
I think the tolerance not tight enough
Okay.
between the two parts that are supposed to meet and sit. So they meet and then they don't touch each other. So as a result, sometimes it can be like that, sometimes it can be like
Also,
that.
it's inverted. It's like
Yeah, this like I should have brought it up. I should have brought it.
So do you put the Santos bracelet into a top 5 best? No.
I think not in terms of finishing, but in terms of
the
how
features,
clever
right?
it is.
Yeah, okay. All right.
actually bracelet. I forgot. It's not what IWC is on.
Is it?
They're quite adjustable on the mark series.
All right. Yeah, I think we gotta wrap this up soon.
Yep.
yeah.
I'll just pick a few of the
All right.
interesting
Yeah.
ones.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
Later, oh yeah, got
Okay, this is a good question from somebody I'm not sure who called Lee Gyok Tan. Ever had FOMO? If yes, how do you overcome it? If not, how? Because my husband always FOMO. He offered something.
Put me on the spot.
I'm not FOMO lah. I'm not FOMO.
Yeah, you very
it's like
steady.
FOMO, yeah.
Yeah.
FOMO?
FOMO.
I FOMO.
Depending on what. Yeah.
Rolex FOMO?
Rolex now FOMO. Now maybe FOMO for Cartier. Because I'm the only one that hasn't like really bought into the
yeah.
brand.
You bought what? You have the tag.
The
Yeah.
British, yeah.
It's not the boutique.
Ah,
the boutique.
I don't have a boutique one.
FOMO.
And I cannot find the right Cartier for me.
You should have black luck.
Yeah, because if I was in the last one that I got COVID, I would have asked Cartier. Like, I'm still trying to find, even though you all share like so many watches, I'm still trying to find which is the right.
FOMO. You know, I know Chion doesn't. Just say no to the
Yeah,
pieces.
I just say no, it's no.
Yeah, Chion actually has a few very nice Tudor coming for the last 4 months.
Yeah,
But
sometimes I
it's
envy him. So strict Tudor love.
FOMO, yeah. I think we're all FOMO. lah. You can't.
And you've collected so many, is it? Completed the collection.
This is crazy, like, to be honest.
It's a,
Good enough,
it's
yeah.
a, it's
Good
a
enough.
hell of a Tudor collection.
Yeah,
That's
You
true.
all can't see, I think there's more Tudor here than the boutique itself.
Yeah. hey, I think that's true, man. Yeah. I don't think you can see the gold.
I think definitely
The
more
SNG?
Tudors than ADs.
Yeah,
for
AD.
sure, for sure.
So,
Not the boutique.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, another one from Jason Yin. It's a good question, but I don't know if we have time to answer
Okay.
it. Our bundle offers worth it.
Ah.
Buy 3 watches to get a Rolex.
All right.
No lah.
No.
No.
Wow, that's very fast.
Because we calculated this.
Yeah.
Let's take this as the
Really
last.
explain.
Let's take this as the last question and spend the last 5 minutes on this question. Think it through first. Think it through.
Yeah,
It's
because my
proper.
answer is not so
Not so
clear.
direct, yeah.
Plus, this one will be going to a grey market discussion really
Which-
about spend at AD.
Sure, I mean, the question is, should you do bundle at 80? The part of the question that is not asked, but of course has to be asked if you fill in the blanks, is versus buy at grey market.
Yeah, because the other ambiguity in the question is actually what is the model you're going for. Then it makes sense to say whether in going bundle or buying grey would make sense.
Yeah.
Actually, Dennis can't say no as well because he has just started his boutique journey with Hourglass. So
So I've gone through. I've started my journey with Hourglass because I wanted to experience it. But I have a friend and a colleague and an ex-boss who I started the entire journey with Hourglass that actually achieved the watch that he wants to get, which is of course a Rolex. That one is for the later discussion lah. But I've seen it happen, so I know it can happen. But like I said again, it really depends what model you're looking for. Because even my AD outright tells me if you're looking for a particular model, buying it grey will be an easier route.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's a bit of a compound now, but there's two depends in there. The first depends is this the only Rolex you want to get?
Yeah.
Yep.
If it is, then go grey market.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second one is like you can actually do the bundle thing if the portfolio of other brands that they have are the brands you like.
Correct.
Then go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Right? So if you like Longines, if you like, I don't know, Breitling, if you like
Yeah.
something else, you know, and that's exactly what that AD has, yeah, go for it. You know, buy those tricks. But you're probably going to buy those watches.
So one of the lessons also I learned is, I mean, for me personally, like you already mentioned, so I can say this, like the hourglass, right? They have more variety.
right? Yeah.
So if I were to spend a bundle, I would choose AD that has, like what you mentioned, variety.
Yep.
Because a lot of brands are actually going in-house, like
Yeah.
boutique already.
So yeah, I think if you want to do the journey, bundle is okay actually.
If you want more watches in your collection, then bundling, of course, give you the variety.
If you want to go in and, you know-
like what you mentioned, WK, if you just want one watch and just one
great,
model,
right. Go great.
then of course go grey. Definitely. You save a lot of time and you save a lot
Yeah,
more
save
money.
money. You save a lot of money.
And you can have the watch 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, this one, I don't know whether we can read on air.
This
Okay.
questions is now.
I would love to answer this question.
Next,
but I don't know.
next episode. Next episode.
Yeah, no, we do swear on the.
But we'll do that in the next episode.
He actually answered it also.
Yeah. RM, the answer is RM.
You don't even see the question.
It's a question by
Just
one.
take it like this, finish it.
Okay, so one by JF asked, what watch will help you win the big dick contest?
It depending. Who are you comparing dicks with?
Right. Yeah. With Dennis, no watch can win the contest.
When you watch club, maybe.
Yeah.
So big dick contest. What watch will help you win?
It also depends.
I am right.
I think
In your face.
It's like common, like normal people, like friends, normal friends, like what? Actually, for them, Rolex is really a very big dick thing, right?
get it.
And they know, they like not even the brands. They're like, oh, not Daytona, but I'm wearing a Pepsi, you fuckers.
Actually, a 5-digit code is quite big dick as well.
No, they won't know what is it. Like,
Yeah.
For me, like, I would take it literally and say, like, you know how people say, like, you know, you drive a Ferrari to overcompensate for a small dick, or you wear the most expensive watch to overcompensate for a small dick. So I will wear the smallest watch possible. Then people will say, wow, this dick must be that big.
This is the most random ending to a podcast.
actually, talking about coming to his one, right? Zeus one, if you've seen this guy called Zeus, he called himself Zeus, he stays in Monaco. He just drives like all the nice cars and he walks around like he has the biggest dick. You should check him out on Instagram.
Actually, it makes sense. Yeah, get the smallest watch. Yeah.
Then people say, wow, the first dick show that.
That's why Chen always buy all the small.
Sure, we know lah.
That's why you always buy the 32.
So I think that's quite a good ending to the podcast, right? All right. Yeah, and guys, thanks for coming
you so
again,
much,
man. I think,
everyone.
Thank you for watching.
yeah.
Thank you for
She's okay already.